With RWBY Volume 9 set to debut sometime in 2022 without an official release date, I want to look into some characters we could see returning after a pretty long hiatus in the series, such as maybe Team Coffee or Team Sun. Now, before we get into this, I just want to say go ahead and leave a like, hit that big red subscribe button for more content like this, and with that said, let's just hop right into the video and talk about some characters that could reappear in RWBY Volume 9. Some notable characters that haven't appeared in RWBY in a long time are those such as Raven, Team Coffee, Team Sun, Glenda Goodwitch, Professor Port, and a bunch of different characters. Also like Roman Torchwick. We've got a lot of characters that we can cover. And first I want to cover Team Coffee. Team Coffee has 3 of my top 10 characters, 4 of my top 12 characters. I really like Team Coffee. Their character designs are really cool. I really love their dynamic. I love their theme song. It's my favorite song in the RWBY soundtrack. Now, their entrance could be spectacular in Volume 9. Now, hear me out. They ride in on a dune buggy. Just a sand dune buggy. And Winter and company are struggling to deal with the monsters that are attacking them, the Grimm that are attacking them. And Team Coffee rides in on this dune buggy because Fox can sense that there was a bunch of people that just popped up out of nowhere, right? And they jump in, Caffeine is blasting, Coco just jumps off this dune buggy and starts mowing down Grimm. Yatsuhashi jumps off of the dune buggy, just starts slashing up some Grimm. Fox and Velvet are watching for a second, they're trying to assess the situation a little bit better, and then they hop off and start destroying some Grimm. And they end up saving Winter, they end up saving Emerald, all of these people that got stuck in the middle of a sandstorm. They save all of them, right? I think that would be the most cool entrance that they could give to Team Coffee, is either on a dune buggy or like an airship or something where they just ride in and they save everybody's lives, right? I think that would be super cool. And it would go along with the fact that they're in Vacuo. They are very well known in Vacuo by now. Also, they know the terrain better than anybody that has just been stuck in Vacuo. And I think it'd be really cool just to see them save a bunch of people that they don't even know, just out of the goodness of their hearts, because that's who Team Coffee is. They will defend humanity, they will help out the people who are struggling, and they will do what they must to ensure that their ideals are strictly upheld. But that's how I think Team Coffee could definitely reappear in RWBY Volume 9. Now, most of you guys are probably expecting me to talk about Team Sun next, and as much as I would like to, there's another character that might be a little bit surprising that I'm talking about them. But if the Wonderland, or whatever you guys want to call it, is in fact an afterlife situation, we could see the return of Taurus. And I actually just thought of this, this is off the top of my head. I legitimately just thought of this 5 minutes ago, right before I started recording this video. And Taurus's return could be insane. Not only could it revive the White Fang and just what they stand for, everything they mean, everything that they wanted to do in the series, it could also bring back Yang's PTSD. It could also just ruin Blake in everything she stands for, and it could just blow up everything a tremendous amount if he is able to come back into the story after this volume. Now, if this is like an afterlife thing and Adam is somehow able to escape it when Team RWBY leaves, that would just shake up everything that has happened in RWBY, and I think it might fix it a little bit. But at the same time, it's do we really want to get into that bring people back from the dead type of thing? And I don't think we really want to get into that. But at the same time, Taurus fixing what has been done to his character, reviving the White Fang, coming back, just absolutely destroying everything, and just pretty much getting Faunus to rise up again, getting Faunus to realize, hey, what's happening to us is not right, and eventually leading to equality on this planet, which will lead the gods to say, you know what, hey, they've got equality. This guy just really led what was going on here. And then this other team, Team RWBY, is fighting off Salem. Salem is the one outlier. If we get rid of her, then everybody on Remnant will be unified and all that. That would be a really cool way to go about bringing back Adam, with him able to not come back in a violent way, but come back in a way that he is still the leader of the White Fang that they really want him to be, and that they succeed in getting equality for themselves without violent measures, because he realizes that the way he was going about it was wrong. And that would be a really cool way to not only reintroduce Adam, but also reintroduce the White Fang and that whole faunus problem as a whole back into the RWBYverse, because that is a big issue that really reflects off of current human nature, and I think it is a topic that can really be tackled well in RWBY, and I would love to see it once again. Now, the next three characters I want to touch on just briefly would be Glenda, Professor Oobleck, and Professor Port. Now, we haven't seen them very much since like Volume 3. In fact, I don't even remember if we've seen Oobleck or Port since Volume 3, and we saw a little bit of Glenda, but I don't expect to see Glenda in Volume 9, specifically because I heard that there's like drama with her voice actor or something like that, which isn't the greatest, but if they get that resolved, I would love to see Glenda again, as well as Oobleck and Port are two of my favorite characters. They're super funny, and every time I rewatch RWBY, I just like them even more. I really enjoy their personalities and the way that they interact with the characters in RWBY, and I think that they're just great characters overall, and I'd love to see them reappear, especially in Vacuo, where the end game is almost upon us. Now, I don't know how many volumes there are going to be in RWBY, but I'm hoping that it goes to at least 12, because that's going to give them enough time to set up an actual end game and show what's really going to go on to finish the series. And I think they could salvage the series in 3 volumes, but it would be easier to do it if they extended it to like 15 volumes. But you never know what they're gonna do, so those 3 are characters that I could see reappearing in RWBY Volume 9. Now, back to the topic of the White Fang, there's a character that could pop back up that has a little bit to do with the White Fang, and making them a more peaceful organization, and that's going to be Ilia. Now, seeing Ilia reappear may not excite many people, but I actually really enjoy her design, and I like her character. Now, I do think she kind of stole Adam's thunder and became the character he was supposed to be, but at the same time I don't really care, because I do enjoy her character, as well as Adam could still be brought back as a villain type character, and I'd love to see the dynamic between the two after they meet up, if they ever do meet up again and it is an afterlife situation and Adam makes it back to the overworld. Now, Ilia's reappearance could mean several things. It could mean that this is the end game and everybody's joining up, or it could mean that they're setting up another character for a death that's going to spark something in our characters to make them realize that, yo, we were messing around a lot in Atlas, this is not what we should have been doing, that led to the death of another friend. And I'd love to just see how that plays out, but overall, Ilia's reappearance wouldn't be game-changing, I guess is the words I'm trying to use. Ilia is a cool character, and I really like her design-wise and just character overall, but her reappearance wouldn't change the story in any way, in my personal opinion, and that's that. It's unfortunate that she's kind of an underpowered character, but it's what you're gonna have when you throw together a character last second and make them steal another character's thunder. But I would like to see her reappear nonetheless. Now, the next characters I want to cover are going to be the amazing, illustrious Team Indigo. I don't know if those words are actually what I should use to describe them, but I'm going to, so whatever. Anyways, Team Indigo, I feel like, is going to reappear, specifically Team Indigo, maybe not some other teams that were from Vacuo, but I feel like Team Indigo is going to reappear, and specifically like Octavia, because she played a decently big role in Before the Dawn. I feel like she's going to step up, play a decent role, and just like overall make a big impact in the story and just become a better character. I'd also like to see Gale make a bigger impact and become a better character, because I really love her character design, even though we haven't gotten much character from her. And Team Indigo would be just really interesting to see in the story again, just see how they interact with all the characters that migrated from other schools to Vacuo, just because they were very critical of the moves when they first happened, so it'd be interesting to see how they are handling it now, and how they interact with the people that have transferred to Shade Academy, and just see how they are dealing with the world as a whole, And yeah, it'd just be really interesting to see Team Indigo step up and treat people like actual human beings instead of mistreating them and just ragging on them because their schools fell and stuff like that. I think it'd be really interesting to see how they have improved as people since that has gone down. Now, the next characters we're going to cover is Team Sun. We're going to go briefly over them just because, I mean, I've kind of already talked about teams reappearing and all that stuff, but Team Sun would be very interesting to see, maybe even go along with Team Coffee to save the people out in the desert, and just see how they have come to develop themselves as a team once again, and just see how they are holding up since we last saw them in Before the Dawn. And it'd be really cool just to see Sun, Scarlet, I believe, I don't remember the other two's names. I think it's like Sage and Neptune, maybe. I haven't watched the show in a really long time. I'm just kind of hyping myself up to rewatch all of it when Volume 9 finally drops. But again, it's just like, I'd really like to see Team Sun reappear. But at the same time, I've already talked about a bunch of teams reappearing, and they're really nothing special to me personally. I mean, I like Sun, but I think everybody likes Sun. And all the other characters are just kind of mid, in my opinion. Now, if you guys like them, that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying, like, in my personal opinion, I don't really care for them. So I'm not going to go too in-depth on why I could see them returning in Volume 9. But I do see them returning in Volume 9, obviously, because we're going to Vacuo, and that's where they're currently stationed. And it'd be really cool to see Sun and his team and see how they're getting along since Before the Dawn. And the last character I'm going to cover in this video is one that probably hasn't had that much of a hiatus compared to the other characters on this list. In fact, I actually don't remember how long they've been out of the story, but it's going to be one Raven Bronwyn. Now, a lot of people are speculating that Raven is going to save Team RWBY from Wonderland. She's going to portal in there, bring them out, and all that stuff. And a lot of people have been saying that they only expect to be in Wonderland for like half of the volume, which I think that would be a horrible mistake. I think they need to stay in Wonderland for the full volume, give some actual character development to all the characters that fell in there, make Jean a great character like he was always meant to be, and flesh out Neo, flesh out Team RWBY, flesh out Jean, and then bring in Raven to come into Wonderland, and somehow find a way for Raven to meet up with Summer in Wonderland, because maybe it's something that she does often, that she can portal to Summer, and she goes and visits her there in Wonderland often. Like, say something like that was something, and then Summer had found Team RWBY, and Raven finds Team RWBY through that means, and that would be super cool, super interesting, and that would be a really great way to find Team RWBY a way to get out of Wonderland, and I think that would be really cool, because, I mean, how is Raven supposed to know that Yang is in Wonderland? I mean, maybe she will, I don't know, maybe she was watching or something, maybe she can sense it. I don't know too much about Raven and in that aspect, but I feel like she maybe goes and visits Summer occasionally, and she's going to go, and Summer's going to be around Team RWBY, and Raven's going to be like, hey, hold up, why are you guys here? And then she's going to save them, bring them out of Wonderland, and just save the show. I mean, that's really all I got to say about that. I'd love to see that play out like the way I just explained it. But with that said, that's all the characters that I had to cover in this video. So, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, hit that big red subscribe button for more content like this, and with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.